Alright, so let me give you the layout of the land. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You notice that gleam. This is the side of the house. This is where her property extends to. She's got a little bunny house that I want to profile. It used to be for the kids. She's got the greenhouse on the side as well, which I'm going to do some slider and other work as long as the sun permits. Here's her house. See that beautiful, like that gleam from the sun? It's just so strong on her property that, you know, doing like a slider or something around the outside, you know, getting multiple different depths of field. I think there's a lot to go with this, especially the front of house. I'll get to that later. But here's her property, her backyard. As you can already notice, the lens flare popping through, the trees. The sun right now, its position is about, in perspective of the trees, it's about 15% of the length of the trees. It gets up to here, like probably at the 3/4 up of the top trees, bleeding through right about there at the peak of the day, so about noon. But overall, if I get far enough back here and I can maybe go on the other property, I'd like to get, you know, sliders of something where it's like, you know, going in and out of the lens flare with the sun bleeding through the trees. Just a time lapse of the sun behind the trees I think would be pretty, as long as I keep my frames at like every 15 or whatever the longest wait is for this for the time lapse. And then down here at the dock on the side of the property, there's this little kids playhouse that I want to set up and do some time lapses off that, as long as the trees permit and there's an opening. But I really want a camera on the dock down here, because then I can see the lake, and the only time I really want to do a time lapse or do photos is when the sun's pretty much going down for the day and then we're getting some you know, some color in the sky. I think my Uncle Chris said there's like red in the sky at the end of the day, but I mean, just the reflection off the lake is pretty enough. So that's the back of house. I'll do a little bit of a slower preview so you can see how the sun kind of hits the object, right? Because that's how I'm gonna get a beautiful shot. But I just gotta find a way to manage all this light, you know, like at what angle am I gonna be bringing this in at. You know, I kind of want to do a rack focus off of her pretty little garden here with the frost on it, you know, rack focusing between this and the background. What's up? Say hi to the goat. But yeah, that's about it for the backyard. This is pretty much her whole backyard. She's got a deck over here, but everything's pretty much taken out. I want to focus on the outside of the house because it's so well decorated. The greenhouse, the kids' playhouse, bunny area, and then the other kids' playhouse on the dock.